We're going to talk to our money guy now. We want to pay off debt. Who doesn't want to pay off debt? Tony Walls from Town and Country Credit Union is here with some options to help you live a little bit easier. It's easy to accrue debt, and we're not just talking credit card debt today, right, Tony? There's a lot of different things, whether it's maybe even that car payment. It makes me happy when I pay off my car. So you have some different options for paying down debt, helping us get into the clear. Where do you want to start today?
Well, we had touched on it before, I think about 2 months ago, about refinancing, how rates are so low. But one thing, we'll take a little bit deeper dive today on exactly how you want to structure your debt. And this is just in general. But when you think about debt, so you have credit cards, which are pretty much the worst, 20-30% interest, right? Then you have just like an unsecured loan, there's no collateral. That's about roughly 8-9% interest, so a little bit better than a credit card, but still pretty high. And then we go to like an auto loan, which could be 2-3% interest. So basically what you want to do is take that high interest, if you have the ability to, and you want to slide it down to the more secured debt, such as an auto loan or even a home equity line of credit.
Okay, so let's talk about where do you start then? If you have a new car, maybe you've been paying on it for a year, where do you go to just start this process to see if you could save some money?
What I'd recommend is get with your banker, your financial counselor, and just go over everything you have and where the debt's at. I've had members come to me and they say, boy, I've got this 10-15,000 in credit card debt and we don't seem to be getting anywhere. And then I asked, well, do you have any like cars that are paid off? And yeah, we have $25,000 car that's paid off. Well, then all we did was a refinance on the car loan, got them 2 or 3% on the car loan, and we paid off all the credit cards. So you really want to make sure that you structure your debt where I love my credit union, but I don't want to pay them any more than I need to. So you want to make sure that you're taking that unsecured or credit card debt, and when possible, if you have equity either in your home or in your car, you want to slide it over to the lower interest.
Can you expand on that a little bit? So yeah, number one, having your car paid off. How about having a little home equity line of credit? How does that work?
So let's just say for math purposes, you have a $100,000 house and you owe $50,000 on the house. You could do a home equity line, typically up to 80% or so, and do a $30,000 line of credit. So maybe you have unsecured loans that are at 9-10-15%, credit cards at 20-30%. Home equity loans are as low as the 3.75 with us right now with good credit on up. So you could take that unsecured debt and put it in your home and do it that way, and that way you're not paying interest. And typically when you do a HELOC, it'll lower your monthly payments also because you're stretching it over a longer amount of time. So you're going out to like a 15-year loan, and you can always pay those off sooner too with the home equity loan. It's an open line of credit. So if you do 10,000, your payment may be only $200, but you can pay 500 or 1,000 and pay it off quicker and then reuse that, typically for 5 years.
Sometimes I feel like we all think there's such separate debts, the credit card, the car, the house. But if you talk to your specialist at maybe Town and Country or somewhere else, you can really combine them and start to pay things off. Because sometimes, especially when you have that credit card debt, you just feel like there's no end in sight ever.
Absolutely. I think many of us have been there with the credit card debt and kind of the overwhelming, I'm making all these payments, but I'm really not getting anywhere. And that can lead to a lot of stress and frustration for all of us. And I'm not without blame myself. So I think the big thing is to sit down and yes, I think you said it perfectly, Lisa. You want to make sure that you look at all the debt and you want to see where that's structured and see if it's where you want to be. I always tell my members, let's take a look. If we can save you some money, great, and restructure some. If not, at least you're in the best situation. So I think it's important to look at overall, and like you said, not compartmentalize. This is my credit card, this is my car, this is my house. But you want to look at everything in total and make decisions based on that.
And you did a great job too right away. Although, when you start talking about different interest rates, my eyes can roll into the back of my head a little bit because it's hard to keep track of when you're not an expert. All I know is that, my store credit cards are really high, but there are so many different levels and so many great options right now. Tony, as always, great to visit with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, great seeing you again, Lisa. Take care.
Coming up on today's show, new options available for people with an aggressive form of blood cancer. Stay with us.